Okay, it's Rank Carcass here again. I'm going to redo my Italian strategy video because it was too quiet. I admit it, and I got called out on it, and I agree with you. So, what are you going by here on the YouTube? You are calling yourself Mike Echo Sierra 6984 or MES 6984. Thank you for the comment. Hopefully this makes my videos better and not a waste of yours and my time. Alright, so let's do Italy again. Italy is the little baby of the Axis. It's kind of like the Axis version of Australia or France. It's not very big. It doesn't have a lot of money. And it's kind of a slog. So, the difference is you do not start at your full income. Here, I'm just going to zoom that in because it's easier to just do it from here. All right, so 36 or 39, you start at $7. You're making $7. Technically, your land zones are worth 10, but you don't get the 10 until you declare war. So, or somebody declares war on you. If somebody declares war on you, you would go up to your wartime income. So then you make the $10. It's the face value of your starting territories. That's it. That's your deal. You do not get a bonus because you worked your way up or anything like that. You don't increase your money when somebody does something. You only increase your money when you go to war. There you go. All right, wartime bonus income, and you only get 3 of them: possession of Gibraltar, possession of Suez Canal, which is in Cairo, and no enemy surface warships in the Med. So, let's zoom out. Alright, there's the whole Med. All in one shot here. The Med is here. All these sea zones. So you got 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, and then you got 80 and 81. So basically anything that's inside this strait here, the Bosphorus and Dardanelles, which are here and here, anything that's inside Gibraltar, and anything that's inside the Suez, that's a sea zone. So, no enemy surface warships, you get $2. So if the British and the French are either dead or take off, and nobody else shows up, you get $2 extra. There you go. You take Suez away, you get $2 extra. You take Gibraltar away, you get $2 extra. So the most you can make is $6 extra, and you got to control both ends of the Med and have no enemy warships inside there. Surface warships. Subs can still get in through the Straits of Gibraltar, but they don't count for that bonus money. All right, so that's your bonus income. So if you don't take over any territories, the maximum amount you can make as Italy is $16 if you're very successful in your Mediterranean takeover. All right, so there's that. Let's move on to the home country. All right, and of course, I'm just going to change the angle here a little bit. Home country for Italy is Italy, which is Turin, Rome, Anzio, Taranto, and they also include the island of Sicily. Now you'll notice the capital, Rome, has both a red star in it, and red lettering, but not every country has that. It also has a bright, vibrant roundel in the capital. And all the colonies and sub-territories are muted. You'll notice the same thing happens with France. Paris is bright, everything else is muted. I've noticed that to be the case on everything on this map. The only time it doesn't happen, and yeah, you can also see the same thing that Madrid here is nice and bright, and then these ones are muted, right? The only time that doesn't happen is when it's a small country that's only got one territory, like Albania. So then it would be just vivid. All right, so that's that. Now, let's go on to surrender conditions, because this is the important thing. How do I not lose? Well, if you want to not lose as Italy, you don't lose your capital. You lose your capital, And then what happens is every single unit you got on the board, you take off. It doesn't fight anybody. It just disappears. Take them all off, put them in the bin. Italy's gone. You're going home. Put your stuff away. Now, at the same time, because Italy technically switched sides in the war when Rome got conquered there in World War II, they're simulating that by when Italy surrenders and loses its capital, whoever takes over Rome gets possession of everything on the map. So let's go in some wild, crazy scenario. The French send up this dude, take Rome, and this guy dies. Well, what happens? If you were anybody else, you would just take off all the items off the map, and someone would have to move in there to claim that territory. But if you're Italy, then this happens. You put a French thing on there, and you put a French thing on there, and you just keep on going. That's how it works if you're Italy. If you're anybody else, you gotta take it over by putting a unit there, and that's a free-for-all for everybody. No units, just walk in there and make it yours in a combat move. All right, Italy. You know what? You don't just turtle and turn over and play dead, but then you also say, hey, take all my stuff too. So don't lose your capital. Now let's go on to annexation of Albania. So right here we have Albania, and the Italians can move a unit in there and annex Albania, just like that. And that is not a declaration of war. There's no units there. It's not worth anything. But if you're Italy, you're proud to take nothing, so you take it. And that's that. There's another option. And here we have Abyssinia, which Italy starts the game off at war with, these whole two militia that are there. So Italy can send in these three infantry, a fighter, and a cavalry. Oh, I can't pick that up again. Into Abyssinia, and this is, you're at war before the game starts, so you're not declaring war on them, you're already at war with them. You wander in there and you take them. That's it. So now you got a place that's worth nothing, and another place that's worth nothing. But guess what? If you're Italy, you're happy to have places that are worth nothing, because you get 2 victory conditions, maximum, 1 per territory, for a total of 2 of places that you own that you didn't own at the start of the game, whether they're worth anything or not. Doesn't matter, it just has to be 2 places. That's it. Your other victory condition you get from winning the Spanish Civil War. So you're going to be sending, on my map I'm using the gray guys, the fascists here, Lend-Lease or not, and the Germans will be doing it. And if these gray guys beat all the yellow guys out of there, then you get a victory point. And so does Germany. So that's worth 2 victory points for the Axis. So you might want to win that. And and then the final victory point is Mediterranean dominance. So this one I'm going to back up again here so you can get the whole Med, because it's important. There's 2 ways you can get it. You own Gibraltar and Malta and the Suez, and then you'll get that final point. And the third way, or the second way you can get it, is you have more capital ships than the enemy. Actually, you need to have twice as many. So, there you go. You have twice as many capital ships as the enemy. So, if they have 0, you need to have at least 1, which would be twice 0, or it counts, right? The difference is 0.5, so 1 is double the amount of 0. Anyway, that doesn't really make sense, but for the game, that makes sense. All right, and so I've gone over home country, Italy and Sicily. War status, you start at peace with all major powers. You're technically at war with Abyssinia. Annexation, Abyssinia is listed. Surrender, I've covered that. Okay, so that's the first page. So, yeah. There you go. Unless you declare war, you're making the same amount as Anzac when it's at war. So, you don't make a lot of money. Now, who can you declare war on? This is pretty basic. More or less the same. I'm going to do this top one here last. Britain, France, Soviet Union, USA, Nationalist China, Communist China, yes. Any minor country, yes. Germany and Japan, no. Vichy France, which is actually Germany's collecting the money for, so you'd be attacking your ally, kind of in a roundabout way, no. So the final one here is Austria and Czechoslovakia. Technically, there's no Czechoslovakia on the map here. That's what it was called when I was in school. But nowadays, all sorts of countries in Europe have changed their names, or split, or turned into more than one country, or combined. A lot of things have changed there since the 80s and 90s. So let's zoom in here. So Austria, you'll remember this from the German videos. The Germans can move in here and they'll annex it, which means they get the units for free and they get to collect the income. If you're Italy, you have to attack it, kill the infantry, then you can collect the income. Same thing here applies with what's labeled as Sudetenland, but is actually basically Czechoslovakia, the Czech Republic. And then Slovakia over here is this territory, and that would be Slovakia. So Czechoslovakia, those were combined. No, they're not, but whatever. So that's what that section means. If you're curious, and if you're Czech, I feel your pain. The map has not properly labeled anything in Canada very well either. Well, this should be Quebec. This should be Labrador. This should be Newfoundland. And St. Pierre Island is this tiny little island right around here somewhere. That's on the map would be a quarter the size of one of these little dots in the convoy line, and it happens to be French, so not British. Anyway, but I mean, if you look at an island, there'll be this great big thing saying St. Pierre Island because it's important to distinguish the fact that it's not Canadian or British at the time of this game. All right, so that's that. Now let's go on to Italy's special abilities. Well, you only got two. The one special ability is nobody can attack you until you declare war on a new nation. So, like I said, Abyssinia, Albania don't count. But if you attack anything at all and initiate the attack, then you open yourself up for an attack from everybody else. However, Russia, and that's you can't be attacked by the Allies. However, Russia is free to attack you at any time. So Russia can float through here and attack Italy somewhere. They could just take Rhodes, for example. And now it's declared war on Italy. Well, Italy didn't initiate the war, so Italy didn't declare the war or start the war. So that's not a loophole for the Allies to now attack Italy. Italy would just go to wartime income to defend itself because somebody else has declared war on it. So there you go. So Italy would be at war status with Russia, but not have declared war in the sense of the game's terminology. Yeah, you'd be at war, but you know what I mean. So that's the one thing you got is Italy. So be wise and select when you make your move. All right. So while you're not declaring war on anybody, you can feed money to them or build yourself up or feed money to the Germans if they're at war with anybody. And there you are. The final thing here that's different for Italy is you get to make black shirts units. And you know what? They're not the most amazing thing in the world because it's just a militia that can attack. But we're going to zoom in on them anyway here. Let's move that over a little bit. And there. Too much ink on the page. She's a little reflective. Anyway, Black shirts, there's type of specialist infantry. You may build 2 per turn. They are a type of militia. Militia, just like any other militia, they must be built in Italy, unlike regular militia, but do not require a factory. So you can build them anywhere, factory or not. We play with the same rules with militia. You can build 1 on any territory, or if it's your home country, you can build the equivalent of the income on the territory. So in Rome, for example, the income is 2, so you could build 2 in Rome as a maximum. But here, let's just show that here. So this is how it works with militia. There's a 2 here, so you can build 2. There's a nothing here, so you can build 1. And there's a 1, and there's a 1 here in Taranto, so you can build 1. Taranto, not Toronto. Anyway, yeah, so. And then if it's not your home country, you can only build those in Italy. So it says Italy, not Sicily, so Italy. All right. And unlike regular militia, the black shirt militias may move and attack. So it can move and attack. Now, there's no thing in there saying that they're like the Volkssturm where they can only move and attack in the German home country or Italian home country. And you can play it like that. In fact, that's probably the most accurate. But this is the only little bonus that Italy has, the fact that they can attack with $2 militia instead of a $4 infantry. And Italy's pretty outclassed. Like, just for an example here, the British basically equal the Italian fleet. In fact, the Italian fleet's got 3 coastal subs in there and a torpedo boat destroyer. So realistically, when it comes to real hitters, the British actually have the same destroyers, 1 more cruiser, same battleships, and they don't. So the Italians have a coastal sub, or 3 coastal subs and a torpedo boat destroyer more, but the British have a cruiser and a light carrier with a tactical more. So, and then that's not counting the French or whatever else the British and French can haul in from up here or over here. So, yeah, Italy's outclassed. And then when you say, okay, Italy's making its $10, well, Britain's making 24, and France is making 17 before Paris falls. But even when Paris falls, unless Vichy happens, France would be tied with Italy on income. So Italy's fighting a numbers game where they start with a negative amount of units, and even at max income, they have a negative balance on income. So they're being outspent, and yeah, they already start off at a numerical disadvantage. So we allow militia to attack outside of Italy, just for that reason. Doesn't break the game, kind of makes the Italian player more likely to try something aggressive, which increases the variety of gameplay. And I'm all about variety, which is why I'm playing this game. And I'm playing the Global War instead of the Axis and Allies. She's got a little more variety in the game on both strategies, setups, and unit types. And that's it, though. This is the first Italian video redone with my new mic, and hopefully it's way better than the old one. Alright, and I'll see you later. Rankers, and yeah, enjoy the video. Have a good day. Bye.